and it took about 10 minutes for it to really kind of settle in, based on the notes you gave me earlier. It changed the cigar, the taste. First of all, the flavors have
You're
opened up
already
big time.
drunk, aren't you?
Yeah. But the flavors I'm getting out of the cigar are incredibly different. So on its own, the cigar I get a lot of sweet, caramel, cocoa, earthy, little spice, very well balanced. With the Aberlour on the rocks, it's bringing out a very sweet cedar flavor. I'm not getting any spice at all. I think the spice from the Aberlour is canceling out any spice in the cigar. The cream notes have all is either it's tightened up and become even more sweet, but it's bringing out a lot more cedar notes that I don't get on its own.
Yeah, there's a wood note on the hot cake that I get, especially in the retrohale, and the drink is putting that much more on palate forward.
Yeah.
For me anyway.
Uh-huh.
But this cigar for me is lots of sweet cocoa notes, and then a little bit of earth, a little bit of coffee, some creamy goodness on the finish, and there's just this little zip of white pepper in the retro with some wood notes. Dave, what are you getting off the cigar?
I can agree with the white pepper and the wood notes on the retrohale.
Do you agree with anything else?
I also am getting
I taste
like-
airheads.
yeah, I'm getting some light creamy earth, and that's really it. To me, the drink is really kind of mellowing the cigar a lot. So the only thing I'm really getting right now is the retrohale. Not really hitting my palate too well.
Pat, what about you?
So I'm taking small, moderate sips of it, and I think it's complementing the cigar. It's so that the drink I think is offering a nice baking spice, and I'm gonna say I think the ice mellows it down and more of like a raisiny sweetness, and that's pairing well with the hot cake because when I've smoked it in the past, I've gotten that baking spice, I've gotten some raisin sweetness, some kind of like grounded up red pepper, a nice cocoa sweetness lingering on the finish. So I think the drink is definitely enhancing those baking spices and fruity sweetness.
Kendra, do you think the cigar is getting in the way of your drink?
The only thing I would say that isn't super great that I'm getting is like, I guess the cocoa that I'm getting, and I've been sipping more neat than with the ice, but
Figures.
it's like kind of like that bitter baking cocoa more so to me than sweet. But I think that this whiskey that I'm getting more out of it drinking it neat.
Okay.
But that's just me for you. I like a cast strength.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
me too.
surprised. Not surprised at all. Now, let me ask you something, Kendra. How often are you asked at the bar to pair something with whatever a customer is smoking, pipe, cigar?
It's not often actually, but just this past weekend there was a guy that came in and it was his birthday and he was with a buddy. First time in, and he said he didn't really know what he was doing and he was hoping to get a nice cigar and a nice whiskey to pair with my help. And so I was like, whew, all right. And
The pressure.
yes, but he had an amazing time. And I thought about our show with the Rowan's Creek and a nice medium bodied smoke. So anyway, the guy's mind was blown, and I was like, thank God. I didn't have Pat there or anybody to tell me about the cigar, but I had the one that I picked before, and I just went with it because I thought it was similar to the show we did with the Rowan's Creek bourbon.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's not very often. Maybe once every few months.
Really?
Yep.
Now, guys, fellow tobacconists, is that surprising to you at all?
Yes, it is. I would think that there'd be more customers coming up with the cigars that we have given them, because a lot of people come in asking for help, and obviously they're heading right up to the bar. And I thought for sure that there'd be more people asking you and the other bartenders about some of the other spirits that would go well with that. So I'm surprised you're not getting a whole lot more.
Do you think people are more or less, they know what they want to drink?
Probably.
They're,
yeah.
I think
they're more
I think
habitual
they're-
that way, and
Yeah.
I think they're not used to knowing bartenders that know how to pair cigars with bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, that I think that is specifically a Twins thing, really, or at least in this area. You know, that's not common.
I don't know anywhere else that has as many bourbons as Twins
Yeah.
724 Lounge does.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, has anyone? I've never been to a bar that has as many choices of whiskey as.
Never.
Yeah, plus, I mean, I think the bar has that same like shock factor that the humidor does with all the selection that you have. So, I mean, someone like me that doesn't know much about spirits, I wouldn't be able to work my way around the bar if I didn't have someone like Kendra there
So
because I don't know
true.
anything about it. You
Right,
know?
but they're
Yeah.
not. They're not coming. It sounds like they're not coming up to her or the other bartenders and asking for help. They're
Yeah.
maybe they're probably so, like you say, the shock factor's there, and they just want to stick to what they know.
I get some I recommend a lot of whiskey, but not so much for them to say, this is what I'm smoking, what will go best with it. It's more about, I want to try something new, you know, and I'll start with, well, what's your favorite? Like, what do you usually drink at home? And then go from there. So,
So recommendations are being made, of course. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Right.
yeah.
It's more or less people wanting to try something new or something different.
Probably due to the shock value. They're like, holy crap, I got to try something new.
I know the first time I went up there, I had no idea. I didn't know so many things existed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I'm at the point where I'll walk into another bar and I'll be like, "That's it. that's
Yeah,
all you
yeah,
got.
right.
This is pitiful."
So, do you think that maybe that could be put on us downstairs? Maybe
I was
That's
just gonna
like
say
during
that,
the
Pat.
process
Yep.
of us selecting a cigar for somebody, maybe we should make them aware that so you have the service down here to select your cigar. Now you have the people that have the wealth of knowledge upstairs that can now take this cigar and then put you on something up there.
Oh, for a minute there,
Where's that gavel?
for a minute there, I thought you were going to say that it was going to be our job to say, "Okay, with this cigar, go up and ask Kendra for espresso martini." It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
In
that
which
goes
case-
with everything.
In which case, A, I'd be wondering, well, does that mean we get a cut of the tips? And B, does that mean I'm going to get my butt whipped at the end of the night?
Huh.
Yes.
It might depend
Or
who's
no,
working and the mood that they're in.
It's always a coin flip.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That actually brings up a good point, though, because maybe what we could add, again, I don't really do it that often unless I get into a discussion about spirits with a customer, which happens once in a while. But maybe what we could do is maybe recommend one or two spirits that we know would pair well with a cigar. And then they can go up and get their feedback from the bartenders and
Yeah.
do that.
Pat is already questioning the Halloween pairing.
What is the
What do we-
Halloween
what's the
pairing
Halloween
this
pa-
year?
Oh, the,
The
Hard
Ardbeg
bag.
yeah,
with
yeah.
the WK.
Why?
It's just
Too strong?
it's not too strong. It's not. It's smooth. It's peated. It has like this really fine leather finish to it, and I just feel like the 1874, for instance, I think would be like a much better pairing, in my opinion, than the WK. I think the WK is going to get muted a little bit too much of that.
So can I ask who came up with the WK for the pairing?
Me and Brie.
Okay. Well, what's wrong with it?
I'm not. I'm just.
You know?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. No.
The
Go for it.
WK is just a little too white.
Not enough mutt.
I just don't think that nice citrus note's going to come out with the Ardbeg.
Have you had the pairing yet, Pat?
I have not.
Okay, so maybe you should have the pairing before you make judgment.
I'm just using my intuition, Paul.
Okay.
Leave that to the women, okay?
I would trust them. They know what they're talking about.
Now, understanding that it's not all that often that you are asked, what should I have to drink with what I'm smoking? Have there been times where it has been really challenging to do that for somebody?
Well, the challenge that I run into when I don't have a clue about what they have in their hand to smoke, I mean, I can be familiar with the humidor we have upstairs at the bar, but there are so many cigars downstairs that I'm not familiar with at all. So I can remember Nick, sending somebody up
Which
to
Nick?
the older Nick. He sent someone up for a pairing, and so I texted him. I'm like, if you want me to do this, you need to tell me something about the cigar your customer has, because I don't have a clue. So anyway, yeah, that's when it's challenging. But if it's something I'm familiar with, no problem at all.
Let me ask you something else, getting back to bourbons and scotches and things. I know that, Scotch is from Scotland. Bourbon is made in Kentucky,
Well, the U.S.
the U.S.
Yeah.
But what are the other similarities and differences between Scotch and bourbon?
Well, I think the biggest difference is, because of the mash bill of bourbon, you get like a lot of sweet kind of vanilla, toffee. And I think that the, Kentucky or any other southern states, I mean, that has a huge impact on, how the whiskey turns out when it's aged in the barrel. And Scotland's weather is completely different too. So I feel like Scotch is more of that like grassy kind of smoky. And I find that bourbon a lot of times is stronger too. You don't find a lot of cask strength Scotch.
No.
No.
This is my first one.
Yeah.
I've never had a cask strength Scotch. Again, I used to drink a lot more scotches years ago, and now I'm pretty much 99% bourbon. But this is without a doubt the strongest Scotch I've ever had. It reminds me somewhat of bourbon too, just because of the cherry notes and the spice right up front. I get a lot of some of the cask strength, like the Old Forester single barrel full. Is it foolproof?
Says barrel strength. on
Barrel
the bottle.
strength.
Yep.
That was really strong, but I get similar notes from this, similar to the Old Forester. So yeah, this is right up there.
So, I have a question. So, do you ever have a situation, Kendra, where you're trying to suggest something that you haven't had before? Because I know downstairs in the humidor, more often than not, unless you're Nick, all of us haven't smoked everything in the humidor, right? So, there's a lot of times that you're
Nicotine.
there's a lot of times you're, ask questions about cigars that maybe you haven't had yet. And I'm just wondering if that translates upstairs as well.
Yeah, I don't feel like I recommend a lot of what I am not familiar with. So, but then that's a challenge on me where I really got to find time to just
Drink.
take a little sample of it. It's hard. It's hard.
It's so hard. I feel your pain, Kendra.
Well, no, I don't always want to like stay after work and drink. I mean, I'll go weeks without having a drink. So it is a challenge to be able to try everything and get my opinion on it. And some things I just, I'm not drinking as much scotch as I used to. So then I feel like that category in the bar is neglected maybe a little bit now because I'm not like showing the excitement as much towards those bottles that we're getting in or, continuously trying to sample those. So I don't know. I think I'm heavy on recommending what I've had or like my pick of the month.
Do you have this in the bar?
No, we don't.
Do you think maybe we should?
I think you should. I think people who are used to bourbons, specifically the barrel strength bourbons, would really appreciate this.
Yeah, definitely. It's very
It's
good.
very good.
It's
Yeah.
incredibly
It's very
good.
Very good.
I mean, right off the bat, I mean, just on its own, the neat, I thought it was phenomenal. It's great, and the Aberlour on the rocks is very good with the cigar, but I'm leaning more towards the neat for my own preference.
I don't have a neat glass, so all I have is this.
You're just not prepared.
Glasses keep breaking, apparently. But the more the ice melts, to me, the more it opens up and the more flavors I pick up. And the more it waters down, the better I think it pairs with the cigar. I really think that those cherry notes and that little bit of citrus in there really picks up with the chocolate.
Yeah, you need to with the cigar because again, this is a medium plus at best. It definitely has some body to it, but it's not enough on its own to pair with the Aberlour neat. I think you're right. It just definitely needs an ice cube or two in there to open up and settle down the pepper, the upfront spice and pepper notes.
And the burn.
And the burn, yeah, the burn. Without a doubt, that burn is long finish, big time.
Yeah,
big
very
time
long finish.
Yeah.
Now, Kendra, do you hear a lot of pickup lines up at the bar? And I'm not talking like people trying to pick you up, but as you are listening to what's going on with the customers, you hear pickup lines.
Her personality is complimented every shift.
Again, I'm not
So,
aiming at
you mean, like,
are you trying to get picked up at the bar? No, I'm saying, do you hear guys and girls talking, and you hear people do pickup lines?
Of course she does. She's got bar ears.
There's not a lot of single women in there that are like open to people trying to pick them up.
It's a weird bar, though. I mean, no, it's not
mean,
a weird
I-
bar. There's people that do weird stuff all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
you've told stories on here that would be.
I hear a lot of bro conversations, about women and whatnot. And I consider myself one of the guys, and I think the regulars consider me one of the guys too.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Well, let me open up this question, everybody. What's the best or / worst pickup line you've ever heard?
I mean, Pat gets they try to pick up Pat more than anything.
Yeah.
Really?
Come
Who?
on, Pat.
He's the pretty one up there. Shit.
Who's trying to pick you up, Pat?
No comment.
Pat, you remind me of a overdue library book.
Especially,
You've
did
got
you see
fine written all over
Did
you.
you see what he wore to work yesterday?
The suit?
Yeah.
About the suit coat?
Aw. He almost got picked up yesterday, too.
By who?
We won't comment
Well,
on
just
that.
you don't have to. All right, never mind.
By a customer or two.
Regular or new?
Mm-hmm.
Regular. Okay. For real or jokingly?
Jokingly, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Paul, have you heard any pickup lines? You're a finance guy, so probably not.
I have, but I probably had them washed out of my brain a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't hang out in bars anymore. I mean, when I do,
I just work at one.
yeah, I work. Well, yeah, not really. Even so, I mean, if we would go out, we go out during the daytime where it's more of a a calmer crowd, if you will. We never go out at night anymore.
No.
And so if we did, I would not be hanging out at the bars, listening for pickup lines and all that. There's no way.
Let me ask this. Do you guys prefer, in the best of all possible worlds, you could do whatever, would you rather go out or stay in?
Stay in.
Stay in.
Well,
That's where my game console is.
That's right. That's why I'd rather stay in. Thank you.
That's where my dogs and my TV and my sweatpants are.
But what about your sweaters and boots?
I know. That's why when I do go out, I make sure to wear them because
It's
it's
Han
not
Solo
often.
season.
can I have a split answer with that one?
Yeah, sure.
I go out during the daytime. Like I said, we're more daytime drinkers than we are nighttime. I would rather go out during the day and then be home at night. And again, maybe that's just my age talking, but
Yeah, you just got to
you
see
know.
where you're going. Yeah.
yeah. But like they say, nothing good happens after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing good happens after 9 o'clock where I live. So I'd rather be in bed, not in bed, but on my couch.
Rather be in
I
bed
probably
at
will be
9
in bed by
o'clock.
9. Getting old.
If you ever
Yep.
feel like you need to experience some crazy stuff, just come to Twins after 10:30 on a Friday.
Oh, I'll be experiencing crazy stuff in a few days. That'll be enough for me for a while.
Yeah.
Or the
Down
third
the
Sunday
keys.
of every
Yeah,
month.
yeah, yeah.
What?
Or the third Sunday of every month.
Yes.
What happens at Twin? Is it just a full moon thing?
I don't know what happens after 10:30, but maybe people will go out to dinner and have drinks at dinner, and then they show up and they start like stripping and stuff.
They start stripping and stuff.
It does happen.
It happens.
Yep.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm gonna need you to put that back.
That's the thing. Like, we don't get pickup lines at Twins. It just goes straight to the point. We just steal second
You like my
base.
package? Here we go.
Let me ask you something. Is this something that's just happened recently, or has this been happening all along?
Is that a
When
770
I-
in your pants?
In the
When
last
I-
year and a half or so, has this been something new, or has this been going on since, they've had a bar?
It's fairly new. We get more and more traffic as the years go on.
Yes.
And there's more late night, gonna stop in for a nightcap group of like 3 couples, the ladies maybe haven't gone out in a long time,
Yeah,
and they're just wild.
really.
Yeah.
So here's another question. Next month starts your busy season,
Yeah.
which will probably be about 6 months of.
I feel bad for Tucker.
Oh yeah. So, do you think this is going to carry over into the busy season and
Oh, yeah.
maybe multiply?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
She's all.
It sure is. They're not going away.
Yeah. So when you have people who start acting weird and doing things like that, how do you get them to stop? How do you deal with it when people are stripping?
Well, you just have to politely go over. It's kind of like rock, paper, scissors with which employee on is going to go deal with it. And like it just happened on Friday where Amber and I looked at each other and she was like, nope, I'm not doing it this time. So I had.
Has Amber
I
ever
love
done it
doing it.
before?
I'm never here when we actually do something like, I love it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you try the polite, like, it's probably not a good idea, can you please do this or not do that? And then if they are still unruly or not listening, then you hand them their bill and they gotta be on their way.
And you tell Scott to tell them their hoo-ha's hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway,
So is this
polite first
is this
and
gonna-
then
is this gonna be the-
forceful after.
Is this going to be the new barback's job now to?
I don't know yet. We'll
Warren.
see. We'll see how confident he is in his bouncing skills after he's trained.
I've noticed it usually happens when it's not, like it's moderately busy, but it's not really slammed. I haven't seen anything too belligerent yet when it's been really busy.
I have seen a lot of singing. People can break out in song.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Just on Friday, though, the new Nick was there, and I had just asked a customer to leave, and he was just sitting there. He hadn't gotten up yet, and so I walked over and I was like, "Excuse me, new guy. I just asked that customer to leave, so we're gonna give him 5 more minutes, and if he doesn't, then you might need to just assist me with that." And he was like, "What?"
Oh my. Talking about fall. What is the best thing to you about fall in New England?
Sweaters and boots.
I can't believe the leaves have not changed more than they have yet.
Well,
Really?
I think it's because we had such a wet,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of all the
hot,
water.
humid, wet summer. I think they're going to hold on to the green for a longer period of time. We're probably going to be at least 2 weeks behind schedule, if not longer. Not one tree in my
I'm not
area.
complaining about
No,
it.
no, either am I. Because once that happens, then it's no stopping it, right? In my neighborhood, the wonderful downtown industrial low-income area of Nashua, the few trees that I do have in my my neighborhood are still very deep green, and very few have dropped. Yet all you have to do is go out to the, maybe a few miles outside and into the country, and you can start to see the colors start popping out. So it's coming. But my favorite part, honestly, I actually taking the AC out of the window and opening up the windows at night and just letting the fresh air in. That's probably my favorite, because again, we live on the third floor. We have our bedrooms on the third floor, converted attic, so we have to have an AC running during the summertime, and it's still in there. Can't wait to pull that out and just let the the natural cool air, just come in. That's probably my favorite thing at this time of year.
Is pulling out the air conditioner.
And sleeping really, really deep.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not going to sleep with the AC on. You sleep, but you don't sleep that deep. You might get up a few times at night, but I think once that fresh air comes in, boy, it's just a whole different world.
What about you, Kendra? What do you like about the fall?
You know what?
Sweaters and boots.
Sweaters and boots.
Sweaters and boots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the cozy fashion and the apple picking and the decor of it
You
all.
go apple picking?
Yeah, I do. Once a year. But, I don't go to like get a ton of apples. I just go to get like a bag and then go in their little like shop and buy the fun things in there.
You
Candles.
could give them to Dave.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Yep.
Keep
That's
you-
what a couple customers did to me. That's why we have pies here tonight, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What about you, Pat?
Wente.
Pumpkin spice.
Oh, you're one
That's
of
it.
them.
I'm one of
You
them.
like pumpkin spice.
You know,
The PSL.
Everything pumpkin spice? Pumpkin spice coffee?
Yes, you
Actually,
do. You
oh,
know you like
coffee.
that.
Just
Yeah,
thinking about the
100%
Tatawahe
coffee.
event cigar, that's what I
I
really
just
want.
like pumpkin spice. I love it.
I wouldn't hold my.
It's the only like sugary thing I do all year. So
Really?
You
that
drink
into it?
pumpkin spice coffee?
you know.
Really?
Oh,
He
yeah.
has already started.
Do you eat pumpkin spice ice cream? No, you don't, because you don't eat ice cream, right? Yeah.
I
Watch-
got pumpkin
watching you
pancakes
figure.
today.
Nice.
I'm going to try it. I'm a big pumpkin spice guy.
What about you, Dave? Do you like the fall? What do you like about the
Oh,
fall?
we know he loves fall.
Yes. Pie.
One step,
Pie and flannel.
one step closer to winter.
Mm-hmm.
Pie
The
and
best
flannel.
thing to the
Foliage. I love the foliage. I love
Yeah.
foliage. I can't wait to drive up to the Kangamangas and take a bunch of pictures.
Well, what do you think the foliage is going to look like this year?
I think it's going to be gorgeous.
Really?
Because every time we get a lot of rain, the foliage is better. Yeah, that's what makes the colors pop. It's all the water. So
Well, we should have one hell of
yeah,
foliage
it's gonna
this
be
year,
more-
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I
We've
think
had
the
no,
most
we've
colorful
had no
fall
shortage
we've
of
had.
rain this year.
Yeah, tell me
At
about
all.
it's going to be gorgeous.
it. Oh my goodness. For me, fall represents the coming of winter, which I loathe with my life. And so, in that sense, fall is just the time of year where I start to get real antsy. But this is the time of year where we start doing fires in the fireplace again. And
Fire.
Fireplace.
there's nothing like cozying up in front of a fire.
Amen.
And your wife, your significant other, whatever. In my case, could be the wife, could be the kids. Have a pipe, have a cigar, something to drink. Oh, and apple cider.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
a big apple cider. Do you know
Apple
a
cider
gallon
donuts.
of apple cider now is $6?
Yep.
I can't even believe it. It was like $4 last year, and I thought that was outrageous. Now it's $6.
Everything's going up.
Everything is going up. Anybody else here big apple cider people?
You know,
No.
No.
Big apple cider. Yep.
hot apple cider.
Hot apple cider, cold apple cider. I don't care. Just dump it down my throat. I love it.
We have an apple cider margarita at the bar. Yeah.
Oh, Kurt's watching. Hi, Kurt. Hey, now. You missed out on the pie, buddy.
Mm-hmm. You want to do a little Pastor Padron cigar confessions?
Let's do that.
All right. I had a customer come in this past weekend, and he thought he was going to be very helpful. He had a picture of the inside of a cigar box top. So the inside logo art of the cigar box was there. And he said, I'm looking for one of these cigars. And unfortunately for him, that same logo was on about 40 different boxes of cigars by this particular company. We did end up finding what he was looking for, and so he got what he wanted. But it so often people come in, and I had it happen to me twice today, where people were like, do you know this cigar that was in like the barbecue bag that we got? It was really good. I think it was an Ashton, but I'm not really sure, and that's all did you take a picture? Do you have the band? No, the band came off. I got rid of it. So let me tell you, to remember your favorite brands, take pictures. Take pictures of the bands so you remember your favorite brands. That's what Pastor Padron says. Because, we want to be there to help you out and find what you want. But it'll go a whole lot easier if you keep track of the bands on the cigars that you really like, and then we can go look for those and narrow
Just take a
it down
picture of the
quickly
cigar
from them,
before you smoke it.
Yes.
you know. But how often does that happen to you guys?
All the time.
People asking, and I'm looking for a cigar. I think it was brown.
Yeah.
Thanks. You've narrowed it down to. Well, no, you haven't narrowed it down.
Well,
They're
they're
all
coming with
brown.
with a band that's on every single one they make, so
Right,
you don't
yeah.
know, they can't get the right size.
Well, we tell them to take a picture of the cigar. I always say, listen, if they're coming in to find a cigar, I say, look, take a picture of this cigar before you smoke it. If you like it, keep it, and then refer back to it so that we can help you out next time and know exactly what you smoke.
Yeah.
But I want to take what you just said a step further. If you are going to take a picture of the cigar, don't make it part of your infinite number of pictures that you keep on your phone. Create an album of cigars that you smoke, because nothing is more frustrating than when someone says, hey, yeah, I got that picture of a cigar, and they open up their phone and they start rifling through hundreds of pictures to try to find that one picture of the cigar that they're trying to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Just please create an album of just cigars that you smoke. It'll be a lot easier for you to locate, and I wanted to sit there for 5
Can
minutes.
your phone do that?
I think so.
You think so?
Yes, it can do.
Okay. So if Paul's phone can do
Yes,
that,
if my phone can do it,
anybody's
your
phone can
yes,
do that,
yes.
because
I'm of the stone
nobody's
age.
phone is as old as Paul's.
That's right. I don't even know if it's digital. I think it's analog.
Oh my. So what's the final verdict here on the HVC hot cake and the pairing with the Aberlour Scotch?
I think it's been a really, really good pairing. I think the Aberlour with ice absolutely pairs very, very well with the cigar. I'm still getting a lot of that sweet cedar, earthy tones from it. On its own, I've been kind of going back and forth with the Aberlour straight. It's definitely overpowering the cigar, but on the cigar on its own, again, a lot of that sweet, creamy notes, nice spice on it, a lot of earthy caramel notes too. Medium plus. I mean, I haven't had to relight it at all. It's still doing really, really well construction wise.
Yeah.
Nice, shiny, oily wrapper. I think it's been a really, really good pairing.
What do you think, Kendra?
Good, but not like mind blowing or anything. I don't know.
I didn't
What?
I didn't make the cut.
Well, I mean, we've had better pairings before, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is better with the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, I don't know.
What would you pair with this now that you've smoked it?
Well, I'd have to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't
Yeah, I
been
don't
thinking
know.
about it the whole time?
I haven't
If
thought
only
about
that
what
more-
would be
If
better.
only that moron Dan had come to me, I would have had a fantastic.
No, it's not
cigar.
bad, Dan. It really isn't. But I mean, I'm not like gonna happy dance over it. It's a little bit bitter in my opinion, but I don't know. Maybe my palate is just a little bit different than you guys, and
No.
it's and like I said, I've been having the majority of this neat,
Mm.
and it's like assaulting the palate a little bit.
Yeah, no, that will.
So, and at this point, there's a ton of water
Yeah,
in
there
this
is, yeah.
in this whiskey. So,
No skull.
I mean, it tastes like, you know, a 70 proof, like raisiny kind of scotch. You know what I mean?
Which is probably what the cigar may have been better paired with on its own.
Maybe it just needed like a couple drops of water and not a big chunk of ice. That could
That
be,
could be true.
that
yes.
could be where it's going wrong.
That could be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Pat,
I think it's good. I mean, it's honestly, I think the new Weller with 1 cube in it would be really, because that baking spice I think would enhance the hot cake a little bit more. But the one thing about it that I do appreciate is with the 60 gauge cigar in the hot cake, it like the pepper gets died down in this Vitola opposed to the other ones, and the drink is definitely bringing those pepper notes out a little bit more that I wouldn't get otherwise. And like I said, like that raisiny sweetness, which I wish I put less cubes in it because I think it has gone a little bit too watered down.
well, you put in a lot
Well,
of cubes.
I put in a lot of cubes. I'll take the fall for that. But yeah, I think it was complimentary. I think there's definitely better spirits to put with it, but I wouldn't say it was bad or anything.
So they both give me like a C. All right, Dave.
You're gonna hate me. It was, to me, the pairing was average. It was okay, but I'm part of it was I feel like I've had the cigar's been burning great, but I've had a really, really tight draw on it, and I haven't been able to get a lot of smoke from it. And so I feel like I'm not really able to make a good comparison because I'm not enjoying the cigar that much at all. Not it to me, it's very bland. You guys are mentioning raisin and everything, and I'm not getting any of it. I like the retrohale. The retrohale, I get that white pepper, but that's it. And so, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
What do you think?
What do I think? Well, is it the best pairing that we've ever had? No, but I do think that it went well with it, with the ice. I think Kendra's idea of cutting it with just a few drops of water so that it didn't continue to get all watered down more and more as you were drinking it is a great idea. And, I want to try that sometime in the future. I'm not having any draw issues with the cigar, so I'm getting all these flavors. One of the things I want to say is this particular size of the hot cake, to me, is the most flavorful.
Yes.
Other ones are stronger. Other Vitolas have more of that pepper note, but you get more cocoa and more nuanced kind of flavor in this 60 ring gauge, which is really and kind of blows my mind a little bit. Usually
It's the opposite, yeah.
Yeah, the bigger the ring gauge, the more muted the flavors become. And in this particular case, it's kind of opened it up so that you can actually taste more. So I really love this cigar. I think it's a fantastic cigar, and I totally recommend trying it.
And again, I think because of the name Hot Cake in the beginning when we first brought it in, people were saying, I think you, Dave, were mentioning you were getting a lot more pancake, at least
with the smaller
somewhat
Vitolas.
pancake flavor. And I never did out of any of these smaller sizes until I had this one.
Yeah.
And this one here, I'm getting a lot more of that.
But that being said, I never pulled the hull off of it. Was like, well, pancakes. It was only after I had
Subtle.
It was subtle, and it was
Subtle,
after
yeah.
I had walked away to do something else, and I was tasting what was in my mouth, and I'm like, well, I taste pancakes.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you have it. We're going to take a bit of a break so we can refill the glasses and switch over to the pipes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Paul with Twin Smoke Shop, and today I want to talk about some of the new cigars that we've got into the humidor recently. The first one I want to talk about is the Casa Cuevas Patrimonio. This is a very, very good cigar. It's got a Honduran Corojo wrapper. It's a nice, smooth, rich, complex cigar, medium full. If you haven't tried one yet, you got to come down. We only have a couple of boxes of each size. Comes in Robusto and Toro. Next, we just got this in the humidor a couple of days ago. It's what a lot of people have been waiting for. It's the Rocky 60. This is his new cigar. Comes in 3 sizes. Got the Robusto, the Toro, and the 60 ring. No pun intended. It's a Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper with Nicaraguan binder filler. Smooth, earthy, cocoa, a little spicy, but incredibly smooth. Got to come down and try one as well. And Rocky also released the new TAA San Andreas. Now this is an interesting shape. He's used this before. It's called the Balavitola. It's a combination of a Parejo and a Solomon, and with a little bit of a punch at the bottom, at the footing. Again, the blending of this hasn't changed. San Andreas with Nicaraguan binder filler, and it's only $7. And we only have a few boxes left, so come on down and try one. And I want to talk a little bit about the 724 promotion that will go on till the end of September. If anyone comes in and buys the 724 WK series, a box, any box that we offer, cut that out. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the 724 promotion that we got going on between now and the end of September. Anyone who comes in and buys a box of the 724 WK series will get a 3-pack containing the 1874 Gagger, the Factory 57 Laundress, and the new 724 Robusto. This is the original Robusto. Now, Kurt has not released this one yet, but he wanted to put this in this pack to give everyone a chance to try it. So you'll get this for free if you come in and buy any box of the WK series between now and September 30th.
Hey, Pastor Padron here, wanting to show you what's new with the pipes at Twins. We just had our 24th anniversary party, and we had La DC Distribution Group in here, and they brought this wonderful selection of Rossi 7LE and Peterson pipes. They're not going to be here very long, just till the end of the week. But this is a great opportunity to take a look at a very nice selection of pipes that we don't normally have. Both Peterson, 7LE, even Rossi have so many pipes. There's just no way that any store would have all of it. So when we do a pipe show, we like to bring in stuff that we don't normally have. And so there's a lot of great special stuff here. And everything is 10% off on those pipes through the end of the week. And let me tell you about some of the new tobaccos that have recently come into the shop. First, I want to talk about We Three Kings. This is Cornell & Deal's Christmas blend for this year. It's an aromatic with like some allspice, cinnamon, and vanilla on it. This stuff smells like Christmas cookies. It's very, very good. And then, let me see what I'm going to do next. We brought in another favorite from Cornell & Deal. This is one of their best sellers, Briar Fox. It's a Virginia and Burley blend in a crumble cake. Very nice, smooth, nutty. If you like a Burley flake or a Burley cake, this is it for you. Also, a favorite of mine, GLP's. We brought in this Odyssey, one of his original mixtures. I've known about this for a very long time, but again, GLP's has 40-some different blends. But I had a customer special ordering this over and over again, so I just decided I'm just going to put it on the shelf. And what makes this English blend different is that they have black stoved the Virginias that go in this. So you've got the smoky Latakia and then dark black stoved Virginia. And you get this really nice, deep, rich flavor that is very, very unique with English blends. So if you have not tried Odyssey, make sure you take that trip. Another thing from Cornell and Deal here, another one of their best sellers, their Bijou blend. This is one of their Cellar Series blends, and it is a mix of Virginias from 2003 and some Orientals that have been pressed together with a little bit of honey, and you get a just wonderful sweet Virginia flavor with a little bit of zing from those Orientals. And this is designed to be something that you would buy and cellar, and they estimate that this will reach its peak in about 15 years. So you can enjoy this now or enjoy it even more if you have that kind of self-control. Personally, I do not. So I smoke it now. And then the last thing I want to tell you about, I'm very excited about this, From Beyond. This is the latest in their small batch series, 7,600 tins. Jeremy Reeves, the head blender at Cornell and Deal, blended this to get to the kind of experience that he had from a 1980s era tin of Dunhill's Nightcap. And I tell you, I think he got pretty close. He even got that musty kind of aged flavor going on in here. If you like Dunhill's Nightcap and you like it after it's been sitting around for a few years, From Beyond might very well be for you. This is not going to last long, so come on down and get it. All right, everybody, we are back. Thanks for hanging in there with us. And we have switched to the pipes, and now we are having a tobacco that does not need any cutting down whatsoever. Oh. This is Gawith Hoggarth's Black Irish X. Yes. This is all that's left at the Hooksett location of the Black Irish X. It's a very popular tobacco. It's a rope. It's a spun tobacco. And from the Tobacco Reviews website, regarding Black Irish X, it says, and this is a quote from Gawith Hoggarth, all our twist tobacco varieties are manufactured by the same spinning process using dark fired wrapper leaves. The filler is again predominantly dark fired leaf with the addition of a small percentage of dark air cured Indian leaf. They are therefore strong tobaccos. Black Twist, because the cooking process removes some of the stronger tar and nicotine elements, provides a milder smoke than the Brown Twist. The traditional strong smoking and chewing tobacco provides a very strong but remarkable cool smoke, unsuitable for the beginner. Would we all agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Eric Wentworth.
Also unsuitable for the person who does not have a lot of matches or butane with them. The sweet, manufactured with the same tobacco as Brown Twist, but then put through a further process of cooking under pressure to turn the tobacco black. The cooking process does remove some of the stronger elements from the tobacco, so Black Twist is not as strong as Brown, but this is only relatively, as it is still a very strong smoke. And what we're talking about when we're talking strength really is nicotine. The flavor, the body of this is, I think, much stronger than the Brown.
Yes. Yes.
But it's Virginia and Burley, and it is a blackened Virginia, black stove Virginia, and that changes the properties of the Virginia tobacco very, very much. Yes. And for this, we're doing the Aberlour Straight. Oh. And I would like to know what the first impressions are of this
beautiful
tobacco.
Meat. Thank you, Dave. My
sausage rope.
Yes, that too. I'm going to say, I said it once last year, and I'm going to say it again. Burnt ends. Mm-hmm. This is probably one of my all-time favorite pipe tobaccos. If you love barbecue, if you love the burnt ends like I do, that really rich, deep, charred barbecue meats, I'm telling you, this is it. This is all. That's all you need to know. This is just a phenomenal tobacco. You know, lots of that nice smoky.
Lots of smoke.
Lots of really?
Yeah.
Look at the room.
It's like smoking beef jerky.
It is exactly. Mm.
Kendra, what do you think?
This is the best of all the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Pairing already is worlds better.
World's better.
Yep.
Let's find out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I had a sip of this strong, the
Oh,
very
yeah.
first
Oh,
thing,
without a
as
doubt.
far as pipe tobacco came out, was the Black Irish X. I knew that it would hold up. And,
Oh,
these two powerhouses,
the finishes are dancing with each other. That's awesome.
what do you mean by that, Dave?
Oh, the long finish of the liqueur and the long finish of the Black Irish X, like the charred ends, they're making this kind of like raisiny coffee espresso thing. That's just insane.
A deep, really deep cacao
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah. There you
Lots
go,
of
cacao.
smoke. Lots of that deep, rich, earthy. It's just to me this is a fantastic pairing. This is just absolutely phenomenal.
So I did better this time?
Yeah.
Yep. And for people who can't retrohale, I feel sorry for
Oh
you
my
because that's
God.
where the 90% of the love is in this.
Oh,
It's all very good. Now, Pat, this is your first time smoking a Gawith Hoggarth blend, and this is a
well, you've had the brown.
unbelievably strong tobacco.
You've had the brown before, though, right?
Yep, I had the brown.
What do you think?
Well, I love the brown, and it's still early days to say if this dethrones that, but it's really good. It has like that charred, meaty type flavor. The drink's adding some spice to it, and it has like a sweetness from the Virginias, but as it smells, it's like that sweetness you get from like barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Very
Good
true.
description, Pat. Thank you. That's
The tangy, the tangy,
Tang,
deep,
the
tangy
tangy
barbecue
sweetness, yeah.
sauce with it. Yep.
It's amazing how steaming and pressing the tobacco just completely changes the flavor profile. So where you would get like a lot of stewed fruit and sweetness and maybe some light wood notes, now it's dark, charred,
Can you imagine?
meaty, raisiny.
Can you imagine just chewing this stuff?
Yeah, well,
I try to
this
think
is-
about it, and I'm like,
This is the thing. I mean,
people,
this-
it was the norm.
this tobacco, they've been making, Gawith Hoggarth has been making this for about 200 years on the same machines. And sailors would take this stuff with them on voyages. And because most of the tobacco is not exposed to the air, it holds its moisture much longer. And so it lasted a lot better. It was also a lot easier to bring with you on the ship. Easier to store, and because you've got cannons and all sorts of flammable things on the ship.
Not to mention the seawater, which is going to dehydrate anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that doesn't really. I was going in a completely different direction, but that's okay. Because there's a lot of flammable stuff aboard the ship, cannons, cannonballs, and stuff like that. You didn't really want to light fires that weren't necessary. So sailors would cut off bits of this and they would chew it when they were on the ship. And then when they were in shore and in port, they would slice off thick pieces and light them up. And let me tell you, this stuff really does hold its moisture. And what I've found is that one of the best ways to prepare this tobacco is to cut off what you want to use, or maybe what you want to, maybe more than you want to smoke at the time.
Prepare.
This stuff can never dry out too much.
No.
Okay. So I cut about 1.5 ounces of this stuff up, put it on a cutting board, and put it in a microwave for about 40 seconds. And the microwave is going to really pull the moisture out of it. And good grief, the steam that was produced by this stuff was you couldn't see it anymore after 40 seconds, and you can smell the burnt ends through the closed door. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to leave this open for like an hour or something, let it air out. Otherwise, everything's going to taste like burnt ends that people put in here.
And when was that? Because I know Sunday I texted you because I remembered last time, and I was like, Dan, do you want me to cut the stuff up now?
Yeah,
And I already took care of it.
I did this Saturday, so this was
3 days.
cut, dried, then chopped up into manageable pieces, and then left in an open bag on the counter. Since Saturday.
That's crazy.
And
the last time we did this, we chopped it up that morning and had it out on the board in front of the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we kept clicking. I mean, literally, all you kept hearing through the whole.
I know, but that it just goes to show, like,
was
you know,
this
even after we're still clicking,
Yeah, but it's
and it's
still.
been a couple days.
Yeah, but it's so much better now. I mean,
Yep.
you really have to give it play. I tell customers all the time when we're going to these types of ropes, you got to know the day that you want to smoke it, and then prepare for that. So you got to cut it up, let it dry out for whatever, at least a day before you take part in it.
Oh yeah, this is one of those things where if you want to smoke it, prepare it at least the day before.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
worth the wait. I mean, you can put it in your cut it and put it in your pipe, and you'll get the flavor.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stay lit very well because it just holds its moisture like nothing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've come to the point now where when I buy it, I'll just chop it up when I get home and put it in the bag, and then that way I don't have to, deal with it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that's my recommendation. Is if you buy it home, prepare it, put it in a bag or your tin or your mason jar.
Are you enjoying this as much as you did last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. I will say this. I was very surprised that you liked this as much as you did last year. I thought for sure you would probably have one puff and that would have been it.
Really.
And you really
Surprised
me
everyone.
big time. Yeah.
Surprised everyone. Yeah.
I find that a strong, full-bodied cigar will kick my ass more so than a pipe tobacco. I don't know why. I can definitely hang with a strong pipe tobacco.
Well, it definitely hits your palate differently. You know.
So you must really like barbecue.
Yeah, I like barbecue. Yeah.
Speaking of that, something
Sausage rope.
that we, probably should have done last week, but we were having so much fun with Eric, we never got to it, was kind of debriefing the barbecue at Twins. We had our big 24th annual party. There were about 250 people there all together, and I thought it was a great event. What were some of the highlights you guys had from that day?
Well, first of all, the weather was unbelievable. It didn't start.
Perfect.
It didn't start in the early morning. It didn't look like it was going to be a great day, but it turned out to be a phenomenal day. Everyone that I met was having a phenomenal time, being there at the front lines, checking them in. But it was weird because everyone went right to the back of the property. So when they checked in, they went right to the back, and we were there with the cornhole tournament, and no one was playing it at the time. Very few people were hanging out in front, and everyone was in back. So, and again, it just seemed like, where did they all go?
Yeah.
So, but every once in a while, I'd get up and take a walk around, and people were just having a great time. I think. To me, and again, I've only been here 3.5 years.
Right.
It was the best barbecue that I've been to, in terms of weather, people. Everyone was having just a great time. Kendra, I don't know what your thoughts were, but you were right in the thick of things.
Yeah, it was a little intense upstairs.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to leave the bar area and be able to navigate my way around to, have a conversation with a customer. Like, I definitely couldn't, be serving drinks with a tray or anything because you could barely walk.
Yeah.
I was shimmying around trying to get around just to grab some empty glasses. But Other than that, yeah, it was beautiful weather, and it did seem like everyone was having a great time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, huge success. Yeah.
Yep. Pat,
I didn't hear a single complaint,
nope,
Yep.
not one, not one.
which says something because there are always people who complain.
Mm-hmm.
I really did not hear anything bad about the barbecue. Pat, you were there for like
19
36 hours.
Yeah, I was there for a while. It was great. I mean, it was unique seeing, because I mean, obviously I started in the gist of COVID, so seeing all the reps in the humidor was just, to me, amazing. Like, there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of knowledge, it was a really welcoming environment, and I mean, like, hats off to the employees too. Like, everyone was just grinding, and it was like great. No one was complaining. Everyone had a smile. You know, Max was hustling tickets like it was like he was in the fire department up front. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a really good day. Like, the girls upstairs like busted their chops, and yeah, I think it was a very smooth day with all those people that went. So yeah,
What-
it was really great.
Well, you were right in the thick of things in the humidor
Yeah.
area. I mean, I know that was crazy.
It was very, very busy, and you know, we had, you know, had a game where everybody had a chance to be put into this game where you could win $24,000, and people who bought boxes of cigars or pipes from the companies that backed the event got extra chance tickets to get, so that it wasn't just your event ticket. If your event ticket didn't get pulled, buying boxes or pipes got you more chances to get pulled, and so people were doing that all day long.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good, and I thought the game went well, and it was called Wheel and Deal. You had to spin the wheel and take the deal. And after everybody spun, we had 3 people who were left in the game, and Kurt offered them the deal of walking away. If they all agreed, he would pay them $5,000 in cash on the spot, and they all agreed to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody went away very happy. It was a very good event. It was a lot of fun.
Well, even the first guy that got picked that got off, he got a $500 gift card.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I mean, even when you lost, you won. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a
The consolation prizes were
Yeah.
really good.
yeah.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
just so cool.
Yep. Another gentleman got 2 bottles of liquor and 2 boxes of cigars, you know, for his consolation prize. So
Nice.
no one went away empty-handed.
No one did. Everybody
It
was like
great,
armfuls.
great day, and the raffle prizes were really, really good too.
I think the big thing that everybody was hankering for was that hammock.
Yes.
I know I
Everybody
wanted.
Yeah, I wanted
everybody
that.
wanted the hammock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good event. So next year will be the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Even
a
bigger,
very
Kurt says.
special,
Yep.
a very special event, and we're working on the details now for that. But if you are in the New England area, you're going to want to make sure you get a ticket for next year, because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a really good time. Now, speaking of like $24,000, like if you guys won the lottery, what would be your first big splurge?
For me, it would be a house.
I would have thought it would be apples
No. A house.
or a better oven
no.
for your
a,
pie.
a house.
No, a
That-
house.
That'll come with the house. So. But no, I want my own place instead of renting. I hate renting. Yeah. I want my own
What do you
place.
hate about renting?
Everything. Yeah. I
That's
hate
so specific.
the place I'm in is too small. You know, my family's outgrown it. You know, and everything else has been, you know, we only have 1 bathroom. We have like only 2 rooms. There's 3 of us. There's There's the refrigerator isn't big enough, but there's nothing we can do because there's cabinets above it. You know what I'm talking about. You have the
Yeah.
same problem.
Mhm.
You can't expand on it. Our dishwasher just broke, so it's just stuff like that.
Now, isn't that something that they replace
Well,
or
yeah,
fix?
if but it's taking time.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. They don't have a backup or anything, so I'm just waiting. So
Well, as a homeowner whose refrigerator died in July, I just got the refrigerator on Saturday. It took that long to, because of all this, the same thing with all the COVID stuff. I guess the size refrigerator I have is the most common size, and therefore it is the most back ordered
Yep.
fridge. So I had to wait 2 months for a new fridge. And fortunately, a friend of ours had a spare fridge. They're what they were using for backup, and we were able to get by with that. But Pat, what about you? If you won the lottery, what would be your first splurge?
Pay off school.
You'd still go to school?
Well, how much money are we talking?
I don't know.
I mean, it depends. I mean, I have aspirations to be a lawyer, so I mean,
Mhm.
I definitely would do that.
let's say like a really big jackpot, so like a couple
$100 million.
billion,
$100 million.
couple million.
I would just do a Kim K and just get my law degree online then.
Kendra, what about you? Did you get another dog?
No. I'd probably
Different dogs.
I'd probably choose
Different dogs.
I'd probably choose a room in my house to renovate or something. Like yeah, probably my kitchen would need it the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd probably be the next thing. Cuz that stuff is expensive.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul?
I would get a motorhome and go off and see this country. That's what I would do. I would just drop everything and grab the dog and the two cats and just throw them in the motorhome and go off. And I really wanted to see this country. I mean, I've been to certain states, but I haven't seen a lot of the country that I really wanted to see. The Grand Canyon, the West Coast, wine country, the whole Rocky Mountains and all that. That's to me what I would do. I would just grab a motorhome and just go off and see this country.
Mm. It's funny because if it were a splurgy item, the motorhome would be my first thing. If I were being practical, it would be, putting some needed updates into my house. I'd probably get all the electrical work redone and get my hot tub back up and running. But if it were a thing, that's exactly what I would do. I've realized that I really do not need a lot of space. We're blessed to have a good sized house, but I find we're only in a couple of rooms. Depending on the season, those rooms change. But I could be very happy in a very small place as long as I had internet and could smoke.
Well, the great outdoors is a great place to smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very true.
Yep.
Now that brings up another interesting question here. What's the most exotic place you've ever been?
Oh, Hawaii.
Hawaii. That's exotic.
Specifically Kauai.
Hawaii.
The island of Kauai in the town of Honolulu.
Mm-hmm.
I went there. I was lucky enough to have gone there for my 50th birthday, and we had a house right on Honolulu Bay, and nothing like waking up to a clear sky and seeing the mountains in the background with the waterfalls just off in the distance, falling down through them, and it was unbelievable. That was probably my favorite vacation of all time. It was breathtaking, really was.
Kendra, what about you?
Probably Costa Rica.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got married there, and
I didn't know you got married in Costa Rica.
yeah.
Nice.
Were you
Yeah,
like
it was
running
great.
away to get married in Costa Rica, or did you,
We decided to do a destination wedding because,
you didn't want certain unwanted people to show up?
well,
Twins regulars.
I mean, we were not in a position to have some big local expensive wedding, and we were going away on a vacation every year to like the Caribbean, and so this is just we worked with a travel agent to figure it out, like what would be like the like there was a new resort that just opened up in Costa Rica that fit our needs, and it just all worked out and made sense, and the price was good. So we had like 15 people that came with us.
That's all you need.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pat, have you been anywhere exotic?
No.
Don't say twins.
Every third Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. The patio. Yeah. Jackie Daniels, his little bench.
That's erotic, not exotic.
Yeah. Perhaps you've misunderstood what I meant.
We said exotic, not erotic.
Same thing.
Poor Jack, his knee is all busted.
Oh my God.
Oh, shoot.
He's still smiling though.
Dave, what about you?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I haven't
Nope
been
is
anywhere
not an
exotic.
answer.
I
What
have
is the
not.
most exotic place you've ever been?
Naked Barn.
Yeah, there you go. Geez. Probably like there was this place in Maine that I went to called
Salty Dog.
no. It was called the Emerald Pool. And
Sorry, what?
well, it was right off one of the rivers in a mountain, and it's the way the water,
Give me some space.
the way the sun would hit the water with the algae, the whole area would glow green, and that's why it was called the Emerald Pool
Where is this?
in Maine.
No, what part of Maine?
The Emerald Pool.
No,
Yeah,
what,
the Emerald Pool. That's
what
in
part
it.
of Maine?
I-
It's in Emerald Pool, Maine.
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Emerald. Wow.
And it was like
I mean,
it was like a natural waterfall.
I've never heard of it.
It was like a natural waterfall that went into this small little basin, and obviously surrounded by trees, and there was like jump off areas and stuff like that, and it was insane. It was really beautiful.
Was there a little baby Grogu at the bottom?
No,
No.
but it looked when the sun hit it, it looked like the whole bottom, because you could see all the way to the bottom. It looked like the whole basin was covered with emeralds. It was really cool.
That does sound.
Like in New Hampshire.
That does sound really cool.
You sure it's not New Hampshire?
It might be in New Hampshire. I don't know.
I'm sure.
I'm surprised you haven't been there, Dan, because I remember when we went to camp.
Well, I don't know
At
because
Keys
it
Island.
could be
It does
Maine.
enter
on
into
Key
Maine.
Yeah, at Kezar Lake.
Dairy.
It's part of Derry. Is that what you just said?
No, he's just.
No.
It's the little river that
That's where I
separates
went to it,
twins
was-
and the.
The Bluebird.
The Bluebird is the most exotic place I've ever
The
been in my
culvert.
life.
The culvert that overflows when it rains.
Yeah.
No, it sounds awesome.
Yep. But I mean, I've been to like Florida, but I mean, it was for business, so I didn't get to see anything nice. So.
Well, Florida's very flat. It's the flattest state in the country. Did you know that?
The old Panhandle.
The highest point above sea level is 330 feet.
And that's
Mount Dora.
that's got to be up in
Dora the Explorer.
that's got to be up in the northern part of the state, most likely, right? Mm-hmm. Florida's awesome.
Friday.
Fridays when yeah.
You're going.
Friday.
You're
Yep.
going.
Yep.
Smoke them if you got them.
Everyone's going to Florida.
Yeah, except me.
Well, yeah. You'll get there.
I think the most exotic place I've ever been is Istanbul.
I was
Really?
gonna say you've been to quite a few places.
That was exotic in a Indiana Jones kind of exotic way. But a lot of the, there's a lot of mosques there that have been around for well over 1,000 years.
Mhm.
And to see those and walk those, it's just amazing that the history there. But there's Istanbul's an odd city in that half of it is in Asia and half of it is in Europe. And so there's, there's certain parts of it where you can have 1 foot on one continent and 1 foot on the other. And that was wild. But Istanbul's where I got my love for lamb.
Oh yeah.
They were, they'd sell roasted lamb on the street. And I remember they have a Grand Bazaar there in Istanbul. It's this underground mall, but it's all the carts, the whole, all prices are negotiable. You can, and I remember one of the guys I was with was much more confident than me at the time, and he bargained down a denim jacket to what would be 20 American bucks, and the guy still thought he was making out, but I wore that jacket out and really enjoyed it. It was good. But Istanbul,
Not to mention that,
not Constantinople.
but for those unfamiliar with the song, yeah, I remember that. What was that? Was that a coffee machine you brought home?
Yes, yeah, I brought home a Turkish coffee machine for my parents' 20th wedding anniversary. I don't think anyone understood how to make coffee out of it, so it just sat there, but it looked cool.
Yep.
That sounds familiar to what we have going on at Twins.
Yeah. Whoa! Kurt, are you still listening out there? Oh my gosh. I can't wait for that stuff to be up and running though, because that Nespresso machine is nearing the end of its life.
Yeah, but we'll have back.
Alright, well, there goes the 3 viewers.
Oh yeah. Here's your coffee. That froth is just exactly what it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's either spend the $200 to train everybody how to use that fandangled new machine or buy a new Nespresso. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other right now. Oh my goodness. Let's see, what else do I have planned here? Well, we're just about at the end of things. My would you rather question, I think, is going to be rather lame tonight, and that was, would you rather have the cigar pairing or the pipe pairing?
Yeah, that is lame.
The Aberlour.
We already did that.
Everybody's basically, am I wrong? Everybody's agreeing the pipe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I do think it was a much better pairing. I think these two things, I would not have thought that you could really pair something with this in particular because it's so potent. The body on this is off the charts, and what do you pair with beef? Roasted ends or what drink do you do? But this Aberlour really did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed, and this is also being a very high APV and having a very strong body itself. You can't just pair anything with this.
No.
But this goes really perfectly, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the pairing was absolutely perfect. I thought it brought out a lot more of the spice, and it actually sweetened the tobacco a bit too. Like David said, it's more of like you're adding a little bit more of a
Barbecue,
Barbecue
sweetness?
sauce. Yeah, barbecue sauce to it. A nice rich barbecue sauce. Bird ends are just phenomenal. Dry, getting a little bit more like a dry rub too. It's like a dry rub flavor. That deep, rich,
Dry rub.
charred tobacco. Beef ends is just phenomenal.
Looks like Brad Christie is only getting Amona notes.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is.
See.
Kendra, what do you think?
So I think that the tobacco is actually helping me to pick up on the sherry. You know, this particular scotch is matured in sherry cask, and I'm getting a lot of that now, where with the cigar I was not getting much of sweetness at all unless it was the watered down version. So it's impressive that you can enjoy this neat and actually pick up on, you know, what you should.
Yeah.
Pat Wente? It's better than an Opus, be honest.
Come on, if you got this from an Opus,
Still,
you'd be
even
like,
after
oh.
even after the precautions we took to dry it out, it's still
I know.
very moist, and I
Yeah.
kind of wish it wasn't. But I think the brown Irish X, for whatever reason, I enjoy more than the black. But with that being said, this is still an enjoyable blend.
Did you drink any of the liquor you poured yourself there?
Yep, I did.
Can't tell.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, everything that Paul said that I said. It's just charred ends, you know, meat. Oh, the retrohale paired with the lasting finish of the liquor is just amazing. You know, the spice from both is just this is such a very well married pairing.
Very enjoyable. Now, next Monday, on Not Just Blowing Smoke, we're going to light up the Tatuaje T110 Broadleaf cigar, and we're going to revisit Cornell and Deal's Speakeasy.
Ooh, nice.
One of our favorite Navy flakes. That's sure to be a good show. You're going to want to be with us next Monday at 8 o'clock. And that's Not Just Blowing Smoke. We'll see you next week.